Hey, doing legends. Let's go through these team lists. Get through the Titans and the Storm. Oh, here we go. Here's a new change for you. Nico Hines in the 7 role. So Jerome Hughes is out. Right, that's big news. So it looks like he's at least been rested for 1 week. We've got Pappenhausen back in the 1 jersey. So interesting one. If he's really cheap now. He's in the 400s. If you have a trade left and you need someone at that price point, then he's probably worth a crack up against the Titans side. Let's move to the Titans. Fox is back. Yes. In the 7 role. Sexton's gone. That's interesting. What do they reckon there? He's just been dropped. What have they got here? Sexton's been recalled halfback, taking over youngster. Wow. Who'd have thought? He actually played really well. I don't see why he was getting dropped. Fafita being back into the 12 jersey is really interesting. Wow, that's huge for my squad with Fogs there. I hope there's a couple other guys that have out there holding him. It's a welcome addition to the squad, that's for sure. Looking down the line, we don't see Finucane either, so he's going to be rested as well. Again, not sure what's going to happen with Hughes, if it's going to be a week or two. If it's looking like a week, then you want to hold him for the last 2 rounds for sure. We'll have to monitor him, obviously, across the next few days if you're looking at trading him out, if you have any trades left. But at worst, if you don't have any trades left and you're holding him, then it would be ideal if he's just gone for the week only. But let's move along. That was an awesome start to the team list. I thought I was going to sit with about 14, 15 players this week, and that might help me out a little bit for sure. All right, on the Raiders side, we actually see Charles Nickel-Clockstar coming back into the team off the bench. That we lose CHN, so he just really replaces him. Frawley's on the bench there as well. A couple of decent scorers. Guys like Hudson Young has been really cool. Smith Shields on the wing. Sorry, he's been scoring fairly well at a cheaper price if you need an outside back. Trbojevic has been named, so that's a big one there, and looks like he should play. I doubt that they're going to name him if in the position that they are. If he's not going to play, I don't see the reasoning, but I suppose they've done it. Des has done it, leading following the Origin games. I suppose he names him and then just changes it from there. So I suppose just be on high alert. They are an early game, obviously second game of the round. You'll be able to follow along and see what happens there. But again, he's probably not going to be someone you're looking to trade out if he's only a week out anyway. So yeah, you definitely have him in the side and then move him out if you need to as you go along. So Schuster's still there. We got DCE both doing well. Let's move along. Pretty quick this team list is going to be. Obviously, with not a lot of people having many trades left, but just more of a way to be aware of what's going on and being able to sort out your team effectively. So Burton's still in the centres with Cleary in the 7 role. So it looks like it's a pretty well put together side at the moment with Kurt Capewell back on the interchange bench actually in the 17 role. So he's someone that's going to be really interesting in the next year, especially being really cheap. When he's going to start, you imagine he's going to start for sure for the Broncos. They have a pretty solid pack to be fair, but he'll be nice and cheap. When he goes up there. So that's that. And you see Gagai come back and Johnston as well and Graham. So a big backline shuffle for them. This is going to be a really cracking game in the Panthers and Rabbitohs on the Friday night blockbuster. So really, really keen for that one, to watch that one. But other than that, you got Damien Cook's been killing it. Cam Murray's there. So both really good options if you need for the last couple of rounds. They're all going to be fighting for the top 4 spot. Not that it really matters where in the top 4, but just somewhere in that top 4 would be great. All right, Tigers Sharks. Isn't this going to be a belter of a game after that? The great one above it. Tigers Sharks going to be a little bit of a bludger, unfortunately. But yeah, Dewey's going to be there. You should be able to do really well again. Brooks, I'm tipping for another decent game. You got Stefano, who's been great as well, and Sean Bloor looking at close to a 50 score again. Nothing really changes with their team. You got Offhand Gow, who's going to take some middle minutes, but you got Roberts on the bench there, and a couple of guys that don't take too many minutes through the middle. So yeah, happy with that. If you own any of those guys, or if you need that cheaper guy in Sean Bloor, he's going to be a great one for you to finish off the last 3 rounds. So Jesse Ramian in there in the centres. If you don't have him and you need some centre cover, he's great. Averillo has been named, just for some breaking news before you get further down this video. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with him. Again, I'm going to keep an eye out on him. People's squad might be ideal if we actually just bring in some centre cover. So we have Ramian, or it might be worth just bringing in Jack Bird, for example, just to cover in that position, or even like Ewan Aiken, for example. He could be a cool one that could cover for us. We'll have to talk that through with the Discord group for sure. Trindle's in at 7, Connor Tracy at 6 again. So we see Talakai in the back row, Jack Williams at 13, and we see Metcalf still on the bench, who was really, really good. He looked really strong. Had a bit of a a bit of attack for them in that last 20 minutes when he came on the other day, 20, 30 minutes. And Moylan comes back into the 18 role, so he might move back into the team at number 6, and they would move Tracy to, I suppose would he cover Hiroti? You'd say so, wouldn't he? He'd go into the 3 role. I'd imagine he's been one of their best all year for sure. All right, Dogs Knights. Big one for them is Flanagan's back in the 7 role. chop and change. Maybe because Averillo is a little bit hurt. I'm not exactly sure what the go is. If his hands, fine. I imagine if it's not, he wouldn't get named. Again, who knows? They have, so they have some options on the bench. They have Lockie Lewis who could come in. So I suppose it's more, and Bailey who could play 6, for example. So they have options there, which makes it a little bit easier for them just to rest him. But yeah, is what it is with that one. Luke Thompson's back. Jackson Torpenny is there. If you're holding him, it's ideal. Ryan James is solid. Josh Jackson's been great, so he's a good option. Horsburgh was solid off the bench as well. But yeah, the only real option there would be Josh Jackson coming into this week. And on the night side, I think this is the week that Ponga goes nuts. Ponga and Pearce, I'm feeling, and Bradman Best should tear up their right side defence for sure. Clemmer's back on the starting side with Daniel Saifidi going down. Looks like he's out for the rest of the year with a really bad MCL issue, unfortunately. So, yeah, no good on that front. Hopefully Watson still stays in the 13 role because he's been really, really good. If you're looking at that like higher 600 price, there aren't too many great options. Like if you already got the majority of them, but Mitch Barnett is a solid one who I'd expect to get somewhere in the mid 50s for your squad over the next bunch of weeks. But yeah, actually, what happened to Frizz? I completely missed that. Oh, 1 game ban. Ah, damn. So if you picked him up, that's an absolute shocker. Yeah, didn't even notice that one. So there you go. Tough times. Eels and the Cowboys. Wow, we might be a chance of winning the Cowboys. Who would have thought it? Surely this is the time for the Eels to bounce back, really. Like, obviously, yeah, it's not at home, but it's up on the Gold Coast. I just feel like they need to, really. Gutho, Moses, kind of, Brown, big game for them. Obviously, no Madison this one, but Niokore will do a good job. Just the Cowboys are just not a very good team at all. Eagles, if they want to look like half a top 6 team, then they really need to use this as a bounce back game for sure. I'm expecting a better game from Lussick as well. Hopefully some decent minutes for him, but we'll have to wait and see, or at least be able to do more on the park. Biggest news here is actually Taumalolo and Hamiso have both been named in 18 and 19. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure why. I feel like obviously Lolo, do they name him here now and then he just plays next week? Or it's really good news for me, having held him and anyone else that's holding him at this stage, but not exactly sure what's going to happen with that one, if he's going to get some game time. But I suppose if you're sitting there with 15 or 16 players and he happens to play, then happy days. But the team list has actually been a lot better than I thought it was going to be, having lost CHN and Madison, definitely. Just been very helpful. In this one, we lose Radley. He took the 3-game suspension, unfortunately. So you see Isaac Liu in the 13 role, Butcher and Tupanua in the 11 and 12. Verrills has been scoring pretty well, so keep playing him if you need to. On the other side of the ball, Tarek Sims moves to 13 for an interesting reason, with Fuamanu on the 12. DeBellin goes to 10, which doesn't really change too much. Maguire's at 9 with McCulloch out. Amone gets his spot in the 6 role. I think he really deserves it. He was awesome. And Bird goes back to 3 with Lomax there in the other centre spot, with Dufty going back to 1. So I suppose it's another option for them to trial what this team looks like. And they got Jaden Sullivan back in the 14 role. So with 3 big forwards on the to cover the rest of the bench. So Clune unfortunately moves back to the 18 role. So it'll be interesting to see how this game plan, how this goes with Amone. He's playing really well, and Norman just running the team around, and Dufty is some strike at the back. But on the Roosters side, not too much change in their backline. So that's that on that front. And then moving along to the final game with the Broncos and the Warriors. Actually should be a pretty close game, this one. And if we're looking at the team, we see Milford coming in for Tyson Gamble, which he's out for a bunch of weeks. Did they say? Where is he? Clear scans. Where is it? Did they even say? Oh, here you go. Too much, man, for Campbell. So yeah, if you have to hold him, then you obviously get him back for the last game. But the other option is moving him on. And I think the People squad could be a good chance of maybe moving him on for Ewan Aiken, so we have cover in the centre spot. I think that could be a decent, straight swap there. But not much else to say on that front. Hetherington's been pretty solid in the 13 role. You've got Danny Levi playing 9 again. Jordan Ricky's been solid. Payne Haas is a great captaincy option again in that last game. But Curran or Aiken are really, really good options for you. Adam Fanua Blake as well. And then Walsh sort of, following on and helping us in the back end of the game there. But Jazz Tavanga back in the 17 role again, like he did when he played a fair bit of time through the middle, like he did last week with Egan playing, coming back from injury. So that's that, guys. That's the team list. Obviously, yeah, plenty of good things happening there. We've got obviously Lolo in the 18 role. We've got Trebojevic was named, Avrilo was named, and Fogarty was named. So yeah, very, very helpful for my squad, and hopefully a bunch of yours to get you close to that 17 on the park. And I really think the People's Squad can launch in the next week or two using the majority of those last 3 trades and maybe even trying to sneak Cleary back into the squad. But there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you got a lot out of it. And we'll catch you in the next few. We're going to have a little analysis on some players to possibly bring in if you have any trades left. And then my trades for the week and the preview. So see you guys. Have fun.